It was supposed to provide for the needy. It was supposed to provide for the sick. We were told, this is the miracle of our age. Nobody will ever go without health care again. It's a national health service. Well, today in Britain, in 2010, there are waiting lists for operations. Our people are dying. Our people are not given the cancer drugs which they need because they're too expensive. Yet at the same time, our hospitals have unpaid bills of over £2 billion. Over £2 billion. People from overseas have racked up bills of over £2 billion. It has become an international health service, not a national health service. Well, I say this, it was put there to provide for the needy, it was put there to provide for the sick, it was not put there to provide a bed for every person from the third world to come and use to the detriment of our old folk. Again, it makes me ashamed to live in Great Britain. The struggle, the fight back has begun. Last year, the election of 2 BNP MEPs to Brussels gave hope and inspiration to millions. This year, our membership has already passed the 14,000 mark. We are now the 4th largest party in Great Britain. The British people are starting to awake. The British bulldog is starting to fight back. Like in Sweden, though, my brothers and sisters, like in Sweden, obstacles are put in our way at every single turn. Those of you who follow the international news may be aware that we have just been taken to court by the government-backed Racial Equality Commission in a move designed to bankrupt our party and drag it through the courts. They have forced us by law to change our membership criteria. It's an absolute disgrace. Democracy in Great Britain is dying by the day. It is dying by the day. There is not a cigarette paper between any of the elected politicians from the old gang parties in our parliament. The British National Party truly is the only hope for our people in Britain, as is the National Democrats the only hope for the Swedes in Sweden. Yeah! An old Prime Minister in England once said, by the name of William Gladstone, he said, "It is never pleasant for any man to spend his closing years in a vain and unavailing protest. But if he thinks that his protest may avail, it is his duty to protest." Ladies and gentlemen, it is to perform that duty that I come here tonight. The British bulldog has had its nose rubbed in the dirt for far too long. The Swedish people have had their noses rubbed in the dirt for far too long. It's time to put the great back into Britain, the Swede back into Sweden, and return our continent to a Europe of nations, not a communist United Nations of Eurabia or Europe, or whichever it is they seek to impose upon us now, because it's hard to tell the difference between the two. But as William Gladstone said, it is our duty to protest. Another famous quote from history, Edmund Burke said, "All it takes for evil to prosper is for good men to do nothing." It is the duty of all the Western peoples in Europe to rally together and fight for the cause, because we are the last hope for our people. We cannot, we must not, we must never give in. Yeah. But you know, I was taken, talking to Mark and the other people today, I've been taken by how similar the problems you face in Sweden are to the problems that we face in Great Britain. A different country, but we fight for the same cause. You have the same problems with immigration, you have the same problems with crime. You have the same problems with an establishment that attack you at your every move, that persecute you, that try to kick you out of jobs and try and decry freedom of speech. Well, I say this, the leftists over there, the enemies of democracy and their friends, they may well call us fascists, but it is they that are the fascists, it is they that are the enemies of democracy. We preach freedom, freedom of speech, and a right to protect what is rightfully ours and our ancestral homeland, and we will not have it taken away. And this is a right that is enshrined in international law. Convention 169, the Act on Indigenous Peoples and Tribes, clearly states that every nation in the world, every race, every tribe, every people shall have the right to self-determination. Every race of people in the world has the right to be protected from false integration and to protect their territorial integrity. And I agree. I'm a champion of diversity in their own countries. I want Nigeria to be Nigerian. I want China to be Chinese. I want Japan to be Japanese. I want Britain to be British. And I want Sweden to be Swedish. But ladies and gentlemen, we all know that our friends over there and the enemies of democracy do not agree. The baton has been passed to this generation, and it is my duty, your duty, and our duty that we never give up. And this is the message that we leave. We will reclaim our countries. We will reclaim Europe. We are the indigenous people of these lands, and it is ours to reclaim. Thank you very much and good night.
Is there anything left to say after this? I'm speechless.